So
jumping into it.
most teams treat their database like a contact list. The best teams treat it like a business asset. In this session, we're going to explore what it actually takes to turn a stable, incomplete database into a system that runs efficiently, recovers lost revenue, and creates more opportunities without buying a single new lead. From database hygiene to revenue tracking to team performance, we'll talk through the operational layer most teams are missing and what becomes possible when you get that right.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. So, as Nick and Tristan said, I am Jamie Muenchen. I am the head of community here at Fello. So, I have a really unique opportunity to see how our users actually use the platform and really integrate it into their tech stack. So, I'm really excited to share that with the Lab Coat Agents community today and really want to talk about where teams start with Fello. So I see this pretty consistently. When teams or agents get started with Fello, they're working harder. They're buying more leads, they're adding more tools, they're hiring more people, but markets are changing and they're either staying flat or their profit is it's going backwards. They're not actually getting ahead in things. And that's where Fello changes things. What we want to do is help our partners take advantage of their most valuable asset, which is their database. And we know across the board, no matter how many contacts you have in your database, 7% of those are going to transact every 12 months with you or with your ex-best friend that is now your biggest competitor. They are transacting, and most teams, most agents don't have any insight into who is actually transacting in their database because their database, as it sits currently, is sitting in a CRM that is just a digital rolodex. So if we want to quantify this into numbers, if you have 10,000 contacts in your system, that's 700 listings, 700 transactions that are going to be happening over a 12-month period. 1,000 contacts, 70. Most people are capturing not even the smallest portion of that because they don't have any insight. And before I move on, I do want to encourage everyone to scan the QR code. It's just a fun calculator, but what you can do is you can put the number of contacts you have in your database, your average sale price, your average commission, or your average rate, commission rate, and then it's going to tell you the overall volume that's sitting in your database, then based off of your conversion rate, your projected GCI, and then finally all of the data points that Fello can help you find. So
That's cool.
It's just a really cool, I geeked out over it the first time I went through it. And I was at an event last week and was sharing it with people, and they just found it to be really insightful because you really don't know what is just sitting in your database of old leads that you've purchased that you haven't done anything with because they didn't transact right in the onset. And then they just went into a pond and you just continued to buy more and more leads. So really, really cool feature that you can just kind of get that insight. Now for what Fello does, it cleans up your data. Data hygiene is key to using your database successfully. And without clean data, automation is just noise. You can't get anything out of it if you don't have clean data. So let's go back to that 10,000 contact database. I'm going to be really generous and say that 20% of those have completed profiles, meaning name, email, address. And then the other 80% don't have completed profiles. They just have name, email, name, phone number. But you're going to upload those into Fello, and we are going to take the information. And if you have the completed profile, we're going to make sure that that's still accurate. I'm going to guess that there are going to be people in your database that they did not work with you when they sold, and your database has not been updated. You have no idea that they bought and sold. Or for the contacts that you have only email address for, we are going to find out if they are a homeowner for you, and we are going to complete their profile with a ton of homeowner information. So we're talking all of the public record information on the home, when number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, who the current owner is, make sure it matches in your CRM, who the previous owner is, all of the MLS history on the property. So when it went active, when it went pending, if it went back on market, if the price dropped, when it went pending again, when it sold, who the buyer's agent was, who the seller's agent was. You're able to see all of that. You're also able to see multiple sources of value, all of the mortgage information on the property. So when they took out the loan, the amount that they took out, the type, the term, if they have a HELOC, a second mortgage, if they are in pre-foreclosure, if their loan is transferable, you're able to see all of that, as well as the tax information on the property and recently sold properties in the area. It just gives you a really clear picture of what is actually happening in your database, so you can leverage it to be really strategic on how you're connecting to make sure you are capturing those opportunities. And then the last thing we provide for every contact is a lead score, which is a number 0 to 100. The closer the number is to 100, the more likely someone is to be selling in the next 6 months. But I always say it's not a crystal ball. If you would have told me 2 weeks before I moved into this house that I was moving, I would have said you're crazy. But it does give you a good guide. And yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So let's say for this specifically, if we go back to Burton and his presentation, if I'm
Yeah.
extracting data from PropStream and then I upload it into this, what should I expect?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we'll do is, if you extract the homeowner information, we will then just go in and provide all the ancillary data that they didn't have access to. So we'll just complete the entire profile, and then your team can be, or you as the agent can be really precise on how you're connecting.
And then it's still going to give me a score from 0 to 100, so then I can focus in on.
Yep. And then you can be, your team or you can be really strategic. So that's kind of what I wanted to move into next, is actually how you can then start using that data to connect. So if you are wanting to prospect, you can then create really strategic lists. So you're making, when you're calling out to people, you're having similar conversations. I don't know if you're like me, I'm an agent myself, but when I'm calling people, I like to be in control and kind of know what the conversation is going to look like, how it's going to be guided. So maybe one day I want to focus on downsizers. You can get really granular in how you're connecting, how you're building lists, and how you're connecting with those people in your system. Then if you are a member of, like, say, the marketing team, or you're having a marketing day, you can use Fello for your marketing, whether it be email automations, strategic emails, making your dashboard. Every homeowner in Fello gets a customized dashboard that you can share out with them. It'll give them a home value, but you can also make it really immersive and unique to that homeowner. So I always say, if you have someone that's lived in the home 25 years, the story that you're telling them would be maybe about downsizing, but it's going to be very different from someone who is celebrating their first anniversary in their home. And that message could be, here are some things that you can do to maintain your home as you celebrate 1 year in your home. Or if you have a $7 million home, their dashboard can be all luxury focused versus a $200,000 home. They could have an experience that is a cash offer focused, if you have a cash offer program. But you can use that data to be really specific, really granular, and really targeted. So you're speaking to the people that are in your system in a way that matters to them, because that's what people care about. They care about themselves, and they don't really care about your grandma's brownie recipe. They care about their home and their life and what's going on with them. So you, as a member of, like, the marketing team, or you as an agent wanting to market, you can be really strategic in that message that you're sharing. Next, I just want to chat about how people use it behind the scenes, because yes, Fello does a great job of helping you capture listings, helping you connect with the people in your database, but it also is really good from a team or from a standpoint of building your business. So One thing it can do is act as a coach for you or support if you are on a team and you have a team coach. It can actually support you as that coach and coaching your agents. So we have something called property intelligence, which tells you in real time who is transacting in your database, whether they are transacting with you or they are transacting with someone else that services your area. People have called it the throw up report. It
That's
is
scary, man. Like Jamie, I'd be scared to open that.
I am an agent myself, and every time I get one, I'm like, ooh.
What's the report called?
It's a property intelligence report.
It should be called, hey, we're going to scare the crap out of your report. That's what it should be called.
It's wild how many listings are come out of a database. And once you have that data and you have the address tied to it, you see every single time one list. But the cool thing is that you can look at it and say, I got this opportunity. What did I do really well that I can continue to emulate? Or I didn't get this opportunity. Where did I fall flat? Where did I miss the mark? Is it sitting in a pond? Did I follow up with it one time and then I forgot to follow up with it again? You can really make sure that you are doing everything that you can to capture as many listings as possible. Or I always make the joke, I am a licensed agent. My sister is a licensed agent. If my dad were in your database, he would be doing all of the things. He would look like the hottest intent lead because he asked me probably once a week about the value of his home. But when he goes to sell, I used to say he would choose me over my sister and of course anybody else, but he actually just sold a house in his portfolio and chose my sister over me. So, but he would never be what I would consider a true lost opportunity in a database. But that would be something that you could know, and you can use that property intelligence notification to make sure that you are adjusting your strategies to continue to capture that listing. And then we also have a really phenomenal AI role play coach. At Fello in the month of March, we host what we call the 30-day challenge. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but we developed this AI role play coach for that. And I have never seen a product as organically adopted as this role play coach. You can use that on your way to listing presentations. You can use that before you make phone calls. You can just use that to make sure that you maintain that control and that power before you are actually in front of or live with someone in your database or with a prospect. We also have Ask AI, which I think was a little bit like PropStream was talking about, which allows you to look up a specific contact before you call them, and it will look at their data, look at their history, look at all of the information that we have, and it will tell you the possible objections that you will be facing going into that phone call, which will just allow you as the agent to better prepare to make sure that you are constantly on the right foot and not starting from behind with the people that you are connecting with. And then the last thing I wanted to chat about is one of the things that I love about Fello, which is what we call revenue recovery. This is a little bit behind the scenes, but it's money that you've made, but you've left on the table because you haven't had visibility into your database like this at up to this point. So if you are a team leader and you have departed agents, you can continue to monitor their transactions so you can see in real time when something that they have worked on closes and if that lead came from your database. So then you're able to go back and say, is this a lead that stemmed from my marketing efforts and they owe me a commission? And you're able to get in front of that to make sure that you are receiving the money that is owed to you. Or out-of-state referral tracking. To date, out-of-state referral tracking really relies on having the agent that you referred it to provide you with an update. Now in Fello, because we do monitor your database 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and know in real time what is going on with those, when a property that you refer goes on market, you will be alerted. And then you can see who the agent is that's working it and make sure that you if it is the one that you referred, that you are monitoring that property for when it closes so you can make sure you get your referral payout. Same thing with Mortgage Watch. But this revenue recovery feature is just a really powerful feature to make sure that you're getting all the profit out of your business. So yeah, any questions before I go over? We do have a special community today.
We've got a couple of questions for you. Andrew has a good question. Does this work in Canada? Which is a great question. We've got a lot of Canadians. Does this work anywhere, right?
Yes, great question. So I'm going to give the same answer as before. You can be in Canada, but the data is localized to the US. There's just Canada has some restrictions in the data that we can get. So it is US based business.
Awesome. And that's only because the data that the algorithm is pulling from is from the United States, right? So that great question, Andrew. Gia, I love Gia's just comment. It made me laugh. She says, the gotta be quicker than that report. Listen, Jamie, I think we have something here. You should put it out to your audience and Fello, be like, hey, we're renaming this. What should the name be? Because it freaks everybody out. That'd be fun.
That would be a fun post to just put in the community to see what they say, because it is a love-hate with that property intelligence report. Like, I mean, you can get a lot of value out of it, but they're not fun to get, especially when it's a lead that raised their hand and you didn't do all your due diligence and they went with someone else. It's quite the gut punch. So
True. It's like your neighbor listing and you like saw the sign. It's like, I hate that feeling.
Yes,
that's the worst. All right. Kimberly's got a good question. What triggers that report? Them searching online data or applying a loan? How's that being tracked?
The property intelligence report?
Yeah.
So we have access to all of the MLSs in the country. So we are able to see in real time if something goes live on the market. So for a listing, you are notified in real time. If it's a buyer opportunity that you missed, that does take them updating, like the auditor in your local county updating. So that could be like a 30-day delay, but we have access to those MLSs. So that automatically, as soon as the MLS status changes, you get a notification.
Got it. I like that. All right. Let's take a look at how to get a hold of you. What is the link people should be using to get a hold of you, or they should just scan that one?
Yeah, scan that QR code. So exclusive for this event today, we are doing a free enrichment for all of the contacts that you have in your system. So whether that's 1,000 or 100,000, if you have those email only contacts, or outdated contacts, we are going to find all of that homeowner information and bring your database into a living, breathing ecosystem for free. And then we also typically have a $14.99 onboarding fee. That's where our tech team does all of the behind the scenes tech setup integration. And we are waiving all but $100 of that for anybody that schedules a demo. So pretty good opportunity, really great offer that the team allowed me to share with the community today, just to get started. So
yeah, you have you're part of one of the companies that I think is so crucial to everything that we do, because it helps us with the data that we have that we don't know really what to do with all the time. So
absolutely. And then what's coming down the pike is wild. So you want to get started before the agentic AI and all that fun stuff comes rolling out. It's just going to be a really fun couple of months over on the Fello side of things in the Fello community.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this. Great presentation. We loved it. Loved having you. And I know we're doing webinars with you in Lab Codes, and I know Gabe is over in your neck of the woods now. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, Gabe is great. We have a really stellar team here at Fello. We're pretty blessed. He's great.
Stronger.
Yes. So we'll have to have Gabe on next time for sure.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate you.
Great day.